Hey everyone, this is Lemons Night in Studio here, and today I am presenting Kickstarter campaign that I designed for Dead World TCG. I don't know if you heard about them, but maybe if you are in the TCG game space, maybe you've heard because they are starting to get traction and be bigger and bigger. So and this campaign is basically the results of all of that. So it's been 2 years since I've started working with Dead World, and I've worked on the demo set, which was the card template, then the icons for the game, and also some social media posts and other design assets for the game. And when they reached out to me to create the Kickstarter campaign, I was both very excited and also a little bit afraid because it was my first time creating a Kickstarter campaign, but it ended up going very well. They were funded in the first hour, so that was awesome. And it was around 3 months of work to create this campaign from start to finish. And this is what I'm gonna show you. I will open the original files and I'll be showing you the entire process from start to finish of the campaign. And that's about it. So come with me and let's dive in. Okay, so here we have the Photoshop file opened. You can see that in files like this we have hundreds of layers. I normally use the first and second page to be really big, which is where most of the more important information is, and then the others I tend to divide them by topics. So in the first one we have the splash image, this key art that the amazing illustrators did. So here right on the front we can see the logo, we can see some examples of the cards, and then the icons used of the faction of the game. I will not get in much more details about the game itself because this is more of a design video, but we have selected this font, which is the font we can see pretty much in the entire game. So right here we have some characters that we selected and chose to use on the Kickstarter. We will have a lot of these throughout the entire Kickstarter campaign. So here we have some information about the game right off the bat, so that the person can read throughout and understand what the game is about. We have these boxes that is more of a comic style, which is the style used for the entire game in general. And then we have some random characters here and there just to make it fun to look. Then we have some banners with the titles that will be like that throughout the campaign, and some random cards here and there just so that people can read and being still interested visually and have more information throughout the campaign without being only text or something like that. So here we have a window with dynamic gameplay, original artworks, and lots of stuff with more info. We have some characters here and there, and basically this is all information that people can scroll through. On the background we have original artworks for the cards made by the artists, and some more info. So this is the page overall. It's a very long page, but it's necessary for people to go through and understand the core dynamics of the game in general. And with that we go to page 2, which is the playing Dead World TCG. So this is the rules part. We made these fun banners with the characters coming out of it, and this was just to always make it fun to the viewer. Now building a deck, so basically the character, equipment and resources cards, and we can see that every time I can put something visual to explain it better to the viewer, then that's what I will do. Instead of writing stuff, every time I can, I will make something visual, so that people can understand everything in the most easier way. Here we have the factions, and with those I created a visual system that goes through all of the factions of the game and explaining each one and the importance they have for the game. So here I've selected not cards, but like the entire illustration, and make them in little squares with colorful visuals depending on the faction. So here this is white, this is yellow for hero, blue for robot, and all of that, so that people can understand super easily what's going on, monster and vampire and zombie. Then another random character just flying away, and then building a side deck also with the same visuals from the above ones, with characters, wild animals, lands and structures, everything with examples of the cards like they were almost printed and put on the table, and then with the small info right below just to see exactly what's going on. So this is all different rules to make the game really interesting right from the start. And then there's attacking settings, defending location, and again with visual examples. Then the winning the game part and the reading a card. So this one I will show two things, because design wise this is not very difficult. It's just explaining with arrows where everything goes. But even there, I carefully chosen these arrows specifically because they are not like straight arrows. They make curves, which is always more interesting, and also the player can see exactly what represents what, instead of having like dozens of arrows going inside each other or above each other. Here I really take the time, and this took more time than you probably think, because I needed to make the text and the arrows super easily to understand. So that's why I chose this layout for all of this, and I think it's easier to understand. Also, while I'm here, I wanted to show also the template that I designed for these demo sets, which I designed the template of the card. I designed this icon in specific, the character name part, which goes longer or shorter depending on the name, so there's a whole system for that. The health point icon and the faction symbols are these are not those that are designed for the demo part. This is from another designer. Then we have another banner with characters always interacting with each other, and here we have a playmat mockup. And this is very important because when we are presenting something that is not already printed and do not exist right now in the world, we have to make the best possible to show what it will look like through mockups of the final product. So here we only had the illustration from the artist, and this is a great illustration. It's one of my favorites, and so we had to show that on a realistic way for the playmat. This is a small thing, but it makes the total difference when presenting this to a potential baker, even if it do not exist in the real world yet. So this is the entire page. It's also a big one with lots of sections, but I think it looks great, and I think it's super easy for people to understand, which is the most important part on a Kickstarter campaign. So let's go ahead to page number 3. So for page number 3, we have the entry tiers options, where we say here that every baker will receive a 1-of-1 golden ward with their baker number. So we made just a little something to show that. And then this is the layout that I chose for this one, which is basically squares with the pattern of the back of the card in a blue color. Then the mockups, again, all of the mockups of the future products that do not exist yet, but we created something. And you can see how cool this looks, especially on these last ones where everything is put together, so that people can really see visually what they will receive when they choose, for example, the entry bundle. And always with amazing illustrations on the background. And then I had the idea to put these worn out stickers, because this is Dead World, this is Apocalypse, it's the end of the world, so obviously there's no stickers that are perfect, you know. I made them all different because this is something that I want to do, because I'm a perfectionist and I don't want to use always the same assets. It's not like a copy paste, you know. I always want to make things different, so every sticker is completely different from the other, and it's just small stuff that can make a difference. So let's go ahead for the higher tier options. So for this one, I wanted to change the color because it's a large tier option, you know. It's other prices and you will receive lots of new stuff, so we couldn't keep with the blue. We had to change it to another color of the game, so this is the orange one, and it's basically like the other one. But now we have these small explosions, because, you know, it's the explosion of the apocalypse. Everything needs to be thematic for the project we are working on, and on this one we basically had to go with these icons and these assets. So yeah, then again, the mockups of the products that people will receive, and that's about it. Now for the add-ons option, I chose another design direction. So as each one has its own name, price, and what the add-on contains, I created these separate boxes, so that it's also super easy to understand. While I'm here, I also wanted to talk about this logo, the Dead World Rising. The Dead World wasn't a logo that I made, because when I entered the project it existed already, but I designed the Rising one and I think it looks great in pink, and also designed this mock-up for the booster pack. And then the create your character part, which is also with boxes, that people could choose the characters they wanted to create. And this one is a small one, so we can keep going. So now we have the stretch goals, and here I decided to also change a little bit of the design, because we had a lot of text here, and then we wanted to make a mock-up of what the people will receive, and also a small graphics here with the locker for each phase. So here it was fully funded, so I changed the lock to an open lock, and we changed it out as we went to unlock the different stretch goals. Also with great illustrations on the background, and also this text in the left and then in the right, left again, just to make this always appealing to the eye and keep people interesting while they scroll the page. Because it's also something that we have to be aware of, is not to make a scroll fast, because if we make lots of text and lots of images, people will scroll for hours almost, and so we have to make things beautiful and interesting, but at the same time not make a scroll fast, so that people can read everything on a phone while they are making other things and still understand what is being shown. So that's pretty much it. We went to 100k but didn't reach that goal, but we made it anyways. So this is a stretch goals page. Then we created these little mini pages, which are little sections that goes in between pages. So this is just one to show the real cards from the demo edition. This is literally a photo of the real cards, specifically the holographic cards, so you can see how amazing they are. They look really great. Here on these ones you can still see the first icons that I made, which was the human, the robot wasn't me, then the monster, zombie, a vampire and hero. These ones are still with the icons that I created. On this page is also something that just goes in between pages, informing the 3 sealed box toppers with heavy Kickstarter booster box. So I created these little graphics behind the card showing that this is a robot, and then this one with like these slash marks because it's bad breath, it's a dragon, and then electricity and bolts all around because it's King Nova from the hero faction. These is all small things, but I believe they make a difference in the end. And then we have the final page, which is a message from Sean, the creator of the game, and he is basically sharing the story behind the game, which is also something very moving. You can read it out if you want. And then a picture of him with his daughter. And me and Sean, I loved working with him. He really has a passion for this game like I've never seen. He started for his family, for his daughter in particular, but then he just never stopped, and this is something that I value a lot when we talk about dreams, because this guy, he just alone by himself, he manages dozens of illustrators and then me, the designer, and everything by himself, and he also has his own personal work on top of that. So we took 3 months of work on this one Kickstarter campaign. It was 3 months of work, intense work, and it was stressful. This is something that I want to point out because sometimes people think this is easy to create or it's fast, but it is not, and it is a real thing that the designer and the creator will have to be in the same place and communicating through all day. We had days where I was working at 5 a.m. after a birthday party sometimes, or even on holidays. It was intense, but it was all worth it because we reached the goal and the game is now in production. And it was my first project creating a Kickstarter campaign, and it was, you know, it's always this kind of stuff, this big stuff, it's always stressful, at least at the end or something, or throughout the process. But these are the projects that they are big, it's very important projects, so we have to take care of them and make everything possible to make this project possible, this dream possible. And with a story like Sean, I mean, you really have to do your best, you know. But yeah, we made it, and it was amazing to work with him and still working with him. I really love the game, and yeah, that's about it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This was my first one doing something like this, so I don't know if it's interesting or not. I'm fighting a little bit of a cold right now, as you can tell. So yeah, but I wanted to take this time to create this video to share with people, because I think this is not something that designers talk a lot about. Crowdfunding campaigns and how to design them and stuff like that. It's not something that I find on YouTube at all, so I wanted to create something for this. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for feedback, thank you for watching up until now, and maybe I will do more in the future. I work on another campaign right next to this one, and it's also super awesome. So let me know if you want to see that, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.